they split. I've got one more to talk about the Vajrayana. But anyway, yes, there was a split. But the split was never on doctrinal grounds. Mahayana and Theravada, Hinayana for a long time. Oh, let's solve that one. Hina is not a nice word. So until 1950, the Mahayana, they are happy with their name. Alright? But these guys, they say, you are Hinayana, you are Hinayana, you're small, you get why I feel like that. So, at the World Fellowship of Buddhists in Bangkok, 1950, they said, don't call us Hina anymore. We are not Hina, we are Thera. Thera means senior elder monk. So from now on, they are Theravada. It comes from the original Staviravada. You see, Buddhism split into 18 schools very early on. During the time of Asoka and all, there were 18 schools. Most of those died off, but the Staviravadins stayed on as the Hinayana, and so they went back to their original name, Theravada. Okay? Now, but in spite of that, following that Indian thing about everybody allowed to believe whatever you want, they said we are only a yana. Yana means a way. Whether you go by bicycle or you go by limousine, you will still reach Ipoh. Right? Our aim is enlightenment. So if you follow this way to enlightenment, you will still get there. You follow this way, you will still get there. Okay? And that is in the Lotus Sutra. There's a lovely little story about a rich man. He has a big house and he has many children all playing in the house, but it is an old house. One day the rich man goes out on a journey. When he comes back, he finds his house is on fire and all the children are playing inside, not realizing the fire is on. So he shouts to his children to come out. Say, lay low, fire low. Alright. They are so interested in playing that they refuse to come out. So what does the father do? The father says, if you come out, I will give you a chariot made of gold. And I will give you a chariot made of silver. So when the children hear that, they run out. Those who come out first, they get the gold chariot. Those who come out second, get the silver chariot. What does it mean? He says the Buddha is telling us we are all in samsara, we are all on fire. Right? And those who come out first, they are the Mahayana, they get the gold chariot. But these others, the Hinayana, don't die. They will get their silver chariot and they will also be saved. You see, the mind. It's not that you are going to hell forever and ever and nobody, you are what do you call it, kafir, and you'll go to hell. None of that. You change yourself, you go to hell. We say, no, all can go to hell. Some faster, some slower. And another thing, one of the greatest universities the world has ever known is a Buddhist university that existed. It is called Nalanda. It's nothing nowhere near here. Sedang, it's not a Sedang place, okay? It's the original Nalanda. It had 10,000 students. Yuan Chuang, Fashion, all studied there. Not only that, scholars from Sri Vijaya kingdom also studied there. Theravada and Mahayana. They would all study. From 6 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the morning, they'll argue, you Maha, you Thera, you Brady, they'll argue like that until a bell will ring at 10:30. And at 10:30, they will all go out and have lunch together. It can only happen in a Buddhist, in an Indian context. Yeah? Why? Because they all agree this is only a yana. And like the blind man and the elephant, when we see the truth, this is nothing. The real enlightenment is something else. So why are we arguing? So that is why even today, Vesak, any big festival, we all can come together, no problem. Vajrayana, Theravada, Mahayana, all can come, no problem. For this reason. And throughout the history of Buddhism, we have never been to war. No king has fought in the name of Buddhism. Thais have fought Myanmar, Myanmar has fought Sri Lanka. Yeah, there's a lot of fighting going on. But not to protect Buddhism, not to spread Buddhism. Never. Theravada and Mahayana have argued a lot, but never killed anybody in the name of their beliefs. Because this is from the Buddha's teaching. That's very important for us to do. Okay? Now, let me give you a few more minutes to, I've covered Chinese Buddhism, I've covered the spread, I've covered the nuns. Yeah. Now I come to the Vajrayana. Very nice story. Okay. All Buddhist stories are like that. We never talked about so and so killed so and so had his heart burnt out, tied to the stake and crucified. Nothing. And yet interesting. Anyway, this takes us to the 7th century. Nalanda existed again, destroyed by the Muslim invasions. Nalanda existed until about the 11th century. From about the 6th to the 11th, about 5 centuries. Yeah, it existed. It was a great university, 10,000 students. You can still visit the ruins when you go to India. Okay, right. So that was about this time. Now, about the 7th century, Buddhism is now 1,200 years old. Alright? Very established in India. Nalanda is all established. 7th century, yeah? This one starts about 4. So it's at its height. Buddhism is at its height. Then, in China, it had come in about 67 CE, but by about 200 CE during the Han Dynasty, it becomes established as a Buddhist religion in China. Okay, so highly established. By the 7th dynasty is the Sung dynasty, right? Sung or Tang? Tang. All right. That means very advanced, very Buddhist. All right. Highly cultured people. The Tang dynasty is one of the highest cultured people. In India also same. Now, in between China and India, you have the mountains. And here you have Tibet. Now, in the 7th century, there was a Tibetan king. Tibet was very, very, very backward. The people had no language, the people had no culture, the people had no writing, nothing, no art, nothing. Alright? They were very, very backward. They had an animistic religion called Pon. Pon religion, which is animistic, like our Bomo and our Pawang and our Mambo Jambo Pukiri Okay? Right, so that was here. Now, the king, his name was unpronounceable, Songbrot Sangampo. Songbrot Sangampo. I got no right to talk with my name, but Samarawickrama is as bad as Songbrot Sangampo. But anyway, Songbrot Sangampo, he looked to the north, he saw the Chinese advance. He looks to the south, Indians are advanced. He looks at his own people, Now, as a result of his thinking, what can I do to improve my people? He does, to my mind, a very stupid thing, but people say it's a very clever thing. He married 2 wives. Okay? One was Chinese, one was Indian. But not Chinese more, I think, from this side. Must be a Kazakhstan or somebody like that here. Okay? The type that Mahathir tried to improve. He brought here to improve the stock. So here